They say when you know, you just know that I was sure, until she said she wasn't that I met Natalie 4 years ago on a rainy Thursday at a mutual friend's game night. She laughed at all my jokes, even the bad ones, and I knew right then I wanted to hear that laugh for the rest of my life. Over time, we built something steady and warm: Sunday brunches, shared playlists, quiet evenings with wine and documentaries that I started picturing our future like scenes from a movie I couldn't wait to watch unfold. When I decided to propose, I went all in. That I booked the botanical garden where we had our third date, had my best friend ready with a camera, asked her sister to bring her there under the pretense of a casual lunch. That I rehearsed the words 100 times, but when I dropped to one knee and held out the ring, she didn't smile, she didn't cry, she just froze. I need time to think, she whispered. The silence that followed was louder than any rejection. Guests nearby stopped clinking their glasses. My hand trembled. I forced a smile and stood up. She didn't take the ring, and in that moment, something in me cracked. The days after the proposal were filled with a strange stillness. Natalie insisted she just needed space to think, said she was overwhelmed. So I gave her space. But something had shifted. She still smiled, but her eyes didn't hold mine the same way. Her laugh came out forced, like it was echoing from another room. She started staying late at work more often. When I'd ask how her day was, the answers were short, flat. Then came the little things: her phone always face down, screen always on silent. She'd step out to take calls that weren't important. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. Everyone goes through rough patches. Maybe I pushed too hard with the proposal, but one night as she walked in past midnight and offered a quick excuse about a delayed meeting, I couldn't shake the unease crawling under my skin. I brought it up to my sister the next day. Her voice was calm, but firm. Something's off, James, trust your gut, you know her, this doesn't feel right. I didn't want to believe it, but doubt had already taken root. That night, sleep wouldn't come. Natalie was next to me, breathing softly, like nothing was wrong, but my mind was loud. Questions spun in circles. At 2:17 a.m., her phone buzzed, just once, quiet. I hesitated, then picked it up. The screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize: Evan W. No emoji, no last name saved, just a preview. Last night was. And then it cut off. My heart thudded. I didn't open the message. I just stared at it, letting the weight of that one line press into my chest. I set the phone down, carefully, quietly. I didn't say a word to her the next morning. No confrontation. No accusations. But something inside me had changed. That message didn't prove anything. But it proved enough. From that moment, I watched. I noticed how she smiled more at her phone than at me, how she started locking it when she left the room, how her scent sometimes came home different. Cologne that wasn't mine, or hers. Doubt became a permanent companion. It followed me to work, to the grocery store, into every silence between us, and I knew I couldn't ignore it much longer. Friday evening, Natalie said she was meeting her friend Jess for drinks. She kissed my cheek, smiled like always, and left wearing that blue dress she knew I loved, but something in me refused to let it go. I waited 10 minutes, grabbed my keys, and followed, keeping a few cars back, careful not to be seen. She didn't go downtown where Jess lived. Instead, she pulled into a small bar on the edge of town. I parked across the street, watched her walk in. 10 minutes later, a man joined her, tall, clean-shaven, confident. They hugged. Not a quick friendly hug, but one with weight. They sat close, talked, laughed. Her hand touched his arm, his fingers brushed her knee. Then came the look, the kind people share when no one else matters. I'd seen her give that look once. To me, my stomach twisted, hands clenched. I didn't go in. Didn't make a scene. I just left, because in that moment, I understood, this wasn't doubt anymore. It was truth, and it hurt like hell. I waited until Sunday morning, calm, sober, ready. She came into the kitchen, hair still damp from the shower, humming like nothing was wrong. Who is he? I asked. She froze. Who? She said, forcing a smile. The man from Friday, the one you met instead of Jess. Silence. Then, it's nothing. He's just a friend. I didn't want to upset you. I nodded. So you lied. She swallowed. James, please. Don't do this. Don't turn it into something ugly. Her voice cracked. Tears came next, crocodile or real. I couldn't tell anymore. I never meant for this to happen, she whispered, but it did. I said, still no yelling, just a line drawn in stone. You made your choice, now make another. Pack your things. She stared at me like she didn't understand the language, but I wasn't repeating it. 10 minutes later, the bedroom door clicked shut, the zipper of a suitcase hissed like a warning, and when she walked out, eyes red, shoulders slumped, I opened the door. She paused that I didn't, the door closed behind her, and that silence. It was mercy and mourning all at once. The first morning without her felt unreal. The apartment was too quiet, her coffee mug sat untouched in the sink, her scent still lingered in the sheets. That I didn't cry, that I just sat at the edge of the bed, fists clenched, heart hollow. Anger came next. At her. At myself. At every moment I didn't see it coming. That I skipped work, ate nothing, just drifted from room to room, looking at the life we almost built. And the lie it became. On the third day, my sister dropped by. She didn't ask, just showed up with takeout and that no-nonsense look. She cheated, James, you didn't deserve that, but you don't get to disappear, not over her. She stayed while I boxed up Natalie's things, the drawer with her earrings, her shoes by the door, the ring. I returned it the next day. No note, just closure. I signed up for a gym, ran until my legs burnt, started cooking for one. Played music loud again. Slowly, my reflection stopped looking like a ghost, and for the first time in weeks, I felt like I could breathe. Weeks turned into months, the weight lifted slowly. Like thawing ice. That I filled my time with things that made me feel human again, early runs, late night books, silence that no longer hurt. That I wasn't healed overnight, but each day, I forgot a little more of her voice, her laugh, her betrayal. Then, one afternoon at a cafe, I saw them, her and him, sitting close, just like that night at the bar. She laughed at something he said, and I felt nothing. No ache. No jealousy. Just peace, like I'd watched the final scene of a movie I no longer needed. Later that week, her name lit up my phone. Hey, can we talk, just once? I think I owe you. I didn't hesitate. That I met her in the park where we once planned to take engagement photos. She stood awkwardly, eyes searching mine. I need you to understand, she began. That I let her speak, then I smiled, not out of bitterness, but because I finally understood who I was. I'm not angry anymore, I said softly, but I'm not yours, not now, not ever again. I turned and walked away. The sun was setting behind me, but a new day had already begun.